Hello all, welcome to the lecture series of AWS Cloud Architect. In this video, we will implement the NAT gateway. So, I have logged into this my AWS management console. I am in this my North Virginia region. So, I want to implement the NAT gateway as per the scenario what we have discussed in the previous video. This is the scenario. So, first I will create one VPC and name it as IBM VPC. Go to VPC. Next, select your VPC. Already these two VPCs are there. Let me delete it. Once you delete the VPC, all this will be get deleted. Whatever the subnet, security groups, everything will be get deleted. This is deleted. Okay, let it be as it is. I will create the new VPC now. Create VPC. So as per our scenario, I will name it as IBM VPC. Then I will give the IP address in 10.1.0.0. Create. IBM VPC is created. Right click on it. Go to edit DNS hostname. Enable it. So it is created. This one is first step is completed. Then after that I have to create a subnet. I will name it as IBM main subnet. In this I will place my web server. Go to subnet. In this subnet, one second. Yeah, already two subnets are there. This that is connected to the TCS, but I want to create a new subnet. I will give it as IBM main subnet. In which subnet I need to connect to this IBM. I will place it in this one edge zone only. Okay, I need to give IP address. Let me give 10.1.1.0. Okay, so the IP addresses in that subnet servers will start in this series 10.1.1. Okay, then as per this step, I need to create a gateway and I need to attach it to this VPC. So that, I need to attach to this subnet so that this subnet will become a public subnet. Go to internet gateway and create it. I'll give it as IBM internet gateway. I need to attach it. Once you place your mouse here, you can see here IBM VPC. Attach it. Gateway is attached. Now I need to create the root table for this. So by default, a root table will be get created for this IBM. Here it is. Here you can change this IBM root table. Okay, you add the root here. Okay, edit this. So this root is indicates it allows the traffic which is coming from this 10.1. series. Means the local root it is. I'll add public root, that is other than this 10.1 dot can also communicate. So here once you place this internet gateway, here IBM IG is the main gateway, public gateway we can say, root is added. So in this root we have to add our subnet. There is only one subnet, main subnet we have created. Okay, this is subnet, we have not added that. Go to root table. There is that. Now select this root table, subnet association, edit subnet association. Okay, I will select this, save. So subnet is attached to that root. Next we have to create one more subnet for the NAT gateway. Create subnet. I will give it as IBM NAT subnet. I have to attach it to the same IBM VPC, and in the same zone I will place it, that is in 1A. I will give the address as 10.1. Say 5.0. Subnet is created. Okay, so for all the subnets we should have the public IP also. So for this right click on it, edit, modify auto assign IP, enable auto assign public IP. Next for this main subnet also, let me modify this auto, enable auto assign IP also. Okay, now NAT subnet also created. So for what happened, this subnet is created, internet gateway is created, and this is added to this internet gateway. Now this subnet is created and this IP is given. Let's start this creating this NAT gateway. So here in this you can get this NAT gateway. Okay, create NAT gateway. Here it will ask this NAT gateway. So I will write IBM NAT gateway. So which subnet we have to select? We have to select this. See, these many subnets are there. We need to attach this to the main subnet. Okay. So it requires the elastic IP address because an IP address will be given to this NAT gateway, which should be constant. So we have to assign. I will allocate one. Okay. One IP address is allocated for this. Okay. So this is very important. So to which subnet we are attaching this NAT gateway. Okay, here there should be a link here. Okay, this link should not be there. Here there should be a link. Okay, hence this NAT gateway should connect to this public subnet. Okay, of course traffic will go from this way only, not from this way. But while incoming will come from this internet gateway to this way, and from NAT gateway to DB server, it will be like this. Okay, this is important. Okay, NAT gateway is created, means this gateway is created. Now we have to create the root for it. Routing table we have to create for it. Okay, so go to root table. Okay, for NAT gateway default there is no root table is created. We have to create this root table. Name it. I will write IBM NAT root table. Which VPC? It should be connected to this IBM VPC. Okay, then create it. table is created. Where is that? This one. Okay. Now we have to add NAT subnet to this NAT gateway. Click here, subnet association. Okay. Edit subnet association. See here, you can find these two subnets. Okay. One is main subnet, one is NAT subnet. Here we have to select this NAT subnet. Okay. If you forget to select this NAT subnet, okay, and instead of this NAT subnet, if you select this main subnet, what will be happen? Simply you are putting, okay, everything you are making public. That means, okay, everything will be available in the same subnet. So you have to select this NAT subnet, okay, in that root table. Save. Okay, next we have to add this roots also. You can see here this in this which traffic will be allowed. The traffic which is coming from this 10.1 series. It means it allows the traffic only from this server only. Okay, because its IP address is starting from this 10.1. So whatever the traffic that is coming from this, only it will be accepted. Okay. So if anybody is trying to access from any other IP address, that is public IP address, it won't accept. Okay. But we need to allow the traffic outside. From the database server, we need to allow the traffic outside. So you have to edit it. Add root here. Okay. If you place your mouse, your NAT gateway is there. You have to select. Okay. If you select internet gateway, again it will select it. You will connect to that directly internet gateway. But here we are selecting this NAT gateway. Save. Okay. So now completed. Okay. All these steps are completed. Till this step, everything is completed. Now we have to deploy this web server in public subnet. Let's start. How? Go to services, EC2, go to running instance, launch an instance. I'll take this Amazon Linux. I'll take this T2 Micro. So here it is important. In which network I want to set up in this IBM Virtual Private. In this, I will select this in this main subnet. Okay. Here it is already selected. So USB subnet setting enabled means public IP will be assigned automatically. I will take this default size. I'll add one tag here. Here it is IBM web server. Okay. Next I will create one new group here. Create a new group. So I will allow this SSH and I will allow ICMP also. Okay. Launch it. I will select the existing key pair. View instance. Okay. It is creating. By that time we will create one more instance, that is DB server, that we will place it in another subnet, that is in this subnet. Go to launch instance, select this Amazon Linux, select this, select IBM VPC. In which subnet? I want to place it in this NAT subnet. Both are in a same available zone. Here also IP address is enabled. So automatically public IP will be assigned. But here you can assign the IP address for your machine. I will add 10.1.5.100 because we have given the series 10.1.5 there for the servers which need to be placed in the private subnet. While creating private subnet, we have given IP address 10.1.5.1. So this will be acceptable. Next, I will select this default size. Let me add the name for this. Right, IBM DB server. So I will take this existing group, that is so for this we have created this. Yeah, we forgot to give the name, that is launch wizard 8. So it is having SSH as well as ICMP. Review it, launch it. Just select the existing key pair, launch it. Okay, now two servers are deployed. One is IBM web server, which is in the US East 1 year zone. Okay, now the subnet is IBM main subnet. One more is IBM DB server. See, we have given this private IP, so this is assigned. Next, it is in this IBM NAT subnet. Okay, now what we will do? First, we will connect to this IBM web server using this public IP. Control C. Okay. It is connected. Okay, now this is web server. Okay, next I will try to connect to the DB server using this public IP address. See, IBM DB server. Yeah, there is no public IP here. Okay, we will try to give the public IP for, no, not Infosys. No, we have to select IBM DB. Yeah, now this having the public IP. I will try to connect to this. Means I am trying to connect it to this DB server outside from the internet. So let's see what will happen. Let's check this. See, it is not connecting. You will get the timed out message. Okay. So in the previous video, that is in the VPC and subnet implementation, directly we can connect to any virtual machine if it is having the public IP address. Now it is also having the public IP address, but the traffic is not allowed here. Why? Because if you want to access this DB server, you have to first log into this web server. From the web server, you can log into this DB server. Directly through this internet, you cannot connect to this DB server. So now we have proved that directly we are not able to connect to the virtual machine server from the internet using the public IP. Now what we have to prove? These two servers, means these two servers can communicate each other. Okay, let's see. Now already here we have connected to the web server, that is the Okay, now let's see what is the IP address of the private IP address of database server. This is database server. The private IP address is this one. Okay. Now we are in the web server. Okay, you can see here 10.1.1.23, 10.1.1.23 here. Okay. Now ping this. See, now it is communicating. Okay. Why? Because in the root table already we have mentioned this. How we have mentioned in the root table of NAT gateway, from where the traffic should accept, that already we have defined in the NAT root table. Okay. In the NAT root table, we have defined it as 10.1.0.0. As the traffic is coming from this 10.1, that's why you are able to communicate with the DB server. Means in the local you can communicate. These two can communicate within a private region. Okay. What next? As per this, we have completed this. Now we will try to connect to the DB server using public IP. Okay. Just we have cross-checked whether it is pinging or not. Now we will log into this DB server from the web server. How we can? Let's check. Okay. Still we are in DB server only. Let us check once again. Sorry, we are in web server. See 10.1.1.23. Here it is 10.1.1.23. How we can log in? What is the command? SSH. What is the command for login? This is the command. Okay. But we will get an error here. Why? Because there is no PEM file here. Okay. First of all, there is no PEM file in this web server. Okay. And the IP address is also different. What is the IP address of the web server? This one. Hello all. Welcome to the lecture series of AWS Cloud Architect. In this video, we will implement the NAT gateway. Okay. Now let us try to log into this DB server. The DB server IP is this one, private IP. I will copy it and log in with this command. Okay. Now there is no such file is there. That's why you are getting error. So this temp file is not there. It is there in my local machine. I will copy it and paste. Directly you cannot copy. I will tell this. Copy it. Then I will open. First let me log in as sudo su minus so super user login. Okay, now I log in as super user. So nano, what is the name of the file? Test underscore one dot pgm. Okay, paste it. Control O, enter. Control X for save. Okay, let's check where it is. Here it is. Okay, now I am in my home directory. Now if you try to log in again, you will get the error, I guess. Yeah, unprotected private key file. You have to change the file permission for this. How to change? chmod 700 test 1. Color is changed. It means file permission is applied. Now I will log into this database server. Okay, from the web server. Okay, hit enter. Yeah, now here earlier it was 10.1.1.23, now it is 1.5.100. Okay, now we have to check whether the traffic is going out from this database server or not. Means from this database server it has to go outside. Let me check with this command www dot google.com. So we are getting the reply. Okay, but what is the proof that it is going from this NAT gateway only? For this, what I will do is I will do, okay, let's continue this thing. I will do little change here. I will change my NAT table root gateway file, sorry, root table file, where it is here in VPC. In VPC, I have this root table. Go to root tables. Here, NAT root table is there. Just go to this roots. What I will do, I will make little change here. Since I will do some mistake wanted, let it be 24, which is not correct actually. Okay, save root. It has to stop here. Yeah, our pinging is stopped here for some time. Okay, okay. That's why that is what we have proved. So close it and change it our root file again. Where is that? Edit root. Make it 0. Save root. Okay, close. Fine. Again we'll get it properly. Okay. This is what about the NAT gateway, how to implement the NAT gateway. I hope you understood this. So now what we do, what we'll do is we will remove all the instances because now the practice has completed. The practical session is completed. I'm going to remove all those instances as well as the VPCs. Okay. I am going to first to directly you cannot delete the VPC. First you have to terminate all the instances. Those are placed over the VPC. So the instances are now removed. I'll go to VPC. Next, go to your VPC. Select these two. This is default one that won't be get deleted. Go to action. Sorry, one after that we can delete. Delete this TCS VPC so that everything will be get deleted. Security groups, internet gateways, subnets, VPC, and everything will be get deleted. Now I'm going to delete the IBM VPC also. Just now we have practiced. Okay, something is in use. In use internet interface is something is used. What it is used, let's see. Okay, NAT gateway is also included for this, so we have to include, we have delete the NAT gateways. Okay, this one, select it, delete this NAT gateway. Okay, will be deleted. We have to confirm it, so delete. Okay, that is deleted now. Now go to VPC, select this option, delete VPC. Still it is and cannot delete. View and use network interface in the VPC. Use this NAT gateway. NAT gateway is still not yet deleted. Option. When it's still it is deleting. That's why you are getting that. So once it is get deleted, everything will be get deleted. Where is that NAT gateway? Here it is. Okay, now no NAT gateway is deleted now. Go to VPC. Let's try again. Actions, delete it. Unable to delete. The VPC contains one or more in-use network interface and cannot be deleted until those network interface have been deleted. Deleted, right? Already. I think Elastic IP. No Elastic IP is there. Yeah, one Elastic IP is there. Let us release this Elastic IP address. Otherwise, we will get the charges of this. This is also deleted. What else remaining? Let us check. It is deleted already. Okay, let me try. Oh, it is deleted again already. PC. Go here. Action. Delete. Yeah. So this is the way of deleting the VPC. Directly you cannot. If any dependencies are there, that won't be get deleted. First you have to remove the virtual instances. After that, any dependencies like NAT gateways, okay, Elastic IPs and everything should be get deleted. So this is what about today's and in this video session. So we have implemented this NAT gateway successfully and we have tested the request is coming from this web server only. You can access this DB server only by logging to this web server only. Directly you cannot access it, so you are having the public IP. Thank you. We will see some more details, that is load balancing, in the next video. I hope you have enjoyed this.